Greetings and welcome back to the Nation Network Wrestling fans. Tonight, we bring back a tradition in NWA wrestling. It is the Crockett Cup. 8 of the top tag teams in the world today converge right here on the Civic Center in Atlanta, Georgia to crown the new NWA Tag Team Champions. I'm Joe Galley, your host, and tonight joining me, of course, as always, Jim Cornette, as we call all the action. But it's not just about the tag team division. We are going to see the World Heavyweight Championship defended here tonight. Nick Aldis, coming off of an upset loss, will defend against Tim Storm right here as part of the Crockett Cup. All right, fans, we are here live from the Civic Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and it is time to kick off the Crockett Cup 2019. Joining me, as always, James E. Cornette. And Jim, tonight, what's old is new again. Well, I'll tell you something. I know a little bit about the Crockett Cup. I've been up and down the block a few times in this.
Contest is a tag team championship first round match. And from Los Angeles, California, weighing in at 224 pounds, Christopher Daniels.
Christopher Daniels, I tell you, this guy made a name for himself for all around the world. He's been overseas. He's been in many other promotions. Always been very successful, and right now he's a member of the SCU. We would be remiss if we didn't point out the fact that this is a joint promotion with AEW All Elite Wrestling as we take a look at members of their roster.
Weighing in at 215 pounds, Frankie Kazarian.
And indeed, these are two gentlemen, 2 of 3 that make up the SCU. And they are right now competing for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Well, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if these two guys were to make it to the finals. But it won't be an easy road to hold for anybody, because there are 8 of the greatest tag teams in the history of professional wrestling, all right here in Atlanta, Georgia tonight. Every single one of them with the same idea in mind, to become the tag team champions. Our national heavyweight champion also here tonight. Cowboy James Storm will defend his title later on this evening as well. As here come the opposition.
And from New Orleans, Louisiana, weighing in at 200 pounds, Ricky Stark.
The master of Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks. He's the young man who really pulled up an upset just 24 hours ago when he defeated the world champion in a non-title match. Well, I know everybody has been buzzing about this Ricky Starks, and when he pulled off that victory, I gotta admit, even I took notice, and I stood up and I couldn't believe my eyes. You know, we asked the question during the match, now we're gonna ask the question because it's the night of. How does that loss linger in the mind of Nick Aldis as he gets ready to defend the title tonight? Well, if I'm Nick Aldis, I've got to definitely have in the back of my mind what happened, but you also have to find a way to put it out of your mind because you've got a new opponent, and this time the belt is on the line. I think Nick Aldis maybe took it a little bit lightly, maybe did some things he wouldn't have done if the title was up for grabs.
And from Texas, weighing in at 253 pounds, Trevor Murdoch.
Trevor Murdoch coming down to the ring now, and very interesting teaming between he and Ricky Starks. These guys have been on the opposite sides of the fence. Had a match where Ricky Starks, another upset win over Trevor Murdoch, but Murdoch took the high road. Well, you know something, Trevor Murdoch, he's come out of retirement once he saw the NWA and everything that it was doing. And I think he wanted to do a little something to pay homage to his father, and I can't blame him for that one bit. But I'm not sure just how much of a partnership you're really going to have with Ricky Starks. If you're Trevor Murdoch, I don't know if I trust him 100%, but we'll see what happens here as this one goes on. All right, we have one established tag team and one that's making their debut. Let's see which one will advance to the second round of the Crockett Cup tournament here tonight. Bell rings, we are underway. Ricky Starks with the early advantage. Going to work on the trapezius muscle. Referee was asking Christopher Daniels if he wanted to give up, but not a chance that that's going to happen, especially this early in the match. Christopher Daniels, I'll tell you, this young man, he's not a young man anymore. He's a seasoned veteran, and he may be in the twilight of his career, but I tell you what, he can still go. He still put on a 4-star or 5-star match any given night. Now the question is, does he have enough left in the reserves? Because Kazarian, he's not exactly a spring chicken anymore neither. You have to wonder if these two guys can go deep into a tournament like this. To your point, Ricky Starks, the youngest man in this event. Big back body drop sends him all the way out to the floor. Tag made. You know, back in the day, the NWA, that would have been a disqualification by sending your man over the top rope. Well, things have changed. What's old is new again, but then there are still some differences that have modernized the game from where it was back in the day. Capacity crowd on hand here at the Civic Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Tickets went on sale and sold out within an hour. There is a buzz about the NWA that nobody has been able to duplicate. Big back body drop now by Trevor Murdoch, and Christopher Daniels on the receiving end of the punishment. May want to start looking to make that tag while he's very close to Kazarian. Well, he might want to, but that doesn't mean Trevor Murdoch's going to let him. See, that was an opportunity right there for Trevor to pull him out of that corner, send him back towards the other side of the ring, and he didn't do it. And now he's paying the price, and he's in the wrong part of the ring. Well, Murdoch managing to punch his way out of that, and now maybe he heard you, he's taking your advice. Well, that's what he should do. Even Christopher Daniels following the lead of James E. Cornette, bringing Trevor Murdoch now over to his corner. Well, it's tag team wrestling, and you can't be effective if you can't use your teammate. You gotta stay somewhat close by. Murdoch now with the Irish whip puts him into the corner. Here comes that double team we were just discussing. And I've got to tell you, thus far, the team of Murdoch and Starks is really impressing me. He comes in, he's got the crucifix, shoulders are down. We've seen him get wins with this. And he normally goes from that into the stroke daddy. We'll see if he does it here tonight. Monkey flip takes him back down to the middle of the ring, and Christopher Daniels definitely is in trouble right now. Well, if you're Ricky Starks, I can tell you right now, you are on top of the world. You just beat the world heavyweight champion in a one-on-one match on national television. Clothesline right there by Christopher Daniels sends him all the way out to the floor. Christopher Daniels thought he's going to go to the top rope, but Trevor Murdoch intercepts and has plans of his own. And now you look at Christopher Daniels, struggles his way across the ring, makes a diving tag just in the nick of time. Kazarian taking advantage. Ricky Starks, just as he entered the ring, was caught. And again, the crucifix, shoulders are down, referee in position, there's one. No way Christopher Daniels would have made the save in that situation. Well, one thing about this Starks, he's a little bit flamboyant, but don't let that fool you. He's proven already he can beat the best of the best on any given day. Oh, what a move right there by Kazarian. And Starks makes the smart tag, and here comes Trevor Murdoch. Pulls him over. Tremendous right hand by Trevor Murdoch. Goes into the corner, nobody home. Went for the kick, nobody there. And now Trevor Murdoch sizing up the opposition once again. Code breaker. He might have knocked the chew right out of the mouth of Trevor Murdoch with that one. Going for the kill switch. He connects, and that should be it. Turn out the lights on Trevor Murdoch. I believe it's all over. And it is. The team of SCU will be advancing in the tournament here with a tremendous victory. Well, we take a look back at some of the moments from this match, and I'll tell you, I really thought for a moment there that Starks would have enough to pull it out, but he got caught up at the end, got busted around. He was out on the floor, couldn't get back in to make the save, and Trevor Murdoch really took a big one. Here it is, the kill shot. Boom, right on the head. Face first, planted into the mat, deep in his own corner. That is tag team wrestling at its finest. Yeah, they did everything you got to do to advance in a tournament.
Here are your winners, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
Most impressive victory. This is our first match of the night, ladies and gentlemen, as we head towards crowning the first ever NWA Tag Team Champions. Stay with us, more coming your way.
Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me.
All right, fans, we are back once again, coming to you live from the Civic Center in Atlanta, Georgia.
The following contest is a championship first round match. And from Chicago, weighing in at 233 pounds, Colt Cabana.
Well, I'll tell you, this Colt Cabana, he's been around the block a time or two, and he knows his way around. He's been both singles successful and tag team successful. Tonight, he would like nothing more than to add the NWA Tag Team title to his resume.
And from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing in at 243 pounds, Mr. Anderson.
Well, I had the chance to interview Mr. Anderson earlier this evening. He is very much ready and anticipating a heck of a night here for he and his teammate Colt Cabana. I talked to Colt Cabana on NWA Power just a week ago. He told us, I got a guy, and we knew who it was. He definitely got a guy. This is going to prove to be a very formidable tag team here. But they're going up against a couple of legends in their own right.
Weight of 469 pounds, Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton, the Rock and Roll Express.
Well, I tell you, these two men, they were a big deal in the 80s and the 90s, but right about now, I don't know what they got left to bring, but they're going to get their names added to the list here for the Crockett Cup because they were around for the first one. Damn it, they're going to be around for this one too. No doubt about it, the only team in this tournament to be able to say they have experience in the Crockett Cup. All right, bells down, action's underway. Tie up in the middle of the ring. Collar and elbow goes into a side headlock. As Colt Cabana works it, takes him down. Nicely done. Now I'm going to be very curious to see if Colt Cabana and Mr. Anderson decide to wrestle these two guys or if they're going to rough it up a little bit because both of them are capable of going either way. Well, thus far we've seen nothing but wrestling thus far from Colt Cabana. Robert Gibson has been on the receiving end of the majority of the punishment thus far. Size, weight disadvantage, of course, for the Rock and Roll Express, but that's nothing new for them. Well, Ricky and Robert have always managed to put tag team wrestling on a new level, and that teamwork has managed to get them some wins over some devastating teams, much bigger, much more powerful than them, perhaps none more so than the Russians, Ivan and Nikita Koloff back in the day. I'll tell you what, one of the biggest upsets I've ever seen. Ricky Morton coming off that top rope with a fist right to the head, and Colt Cabana had his world rocked. Oh my, Ricky Morton just walked right into that elbow. Colt Cabana using that elbow. Shades of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes blocks the incoming attack by Ricky Morton and continues. Colt Cabana has been considered for the most part an indie wrestling star. He's had some stints in a couple of the big promotions, but his most memorable moments have always been in the independent scene. He had a series of matches for the then NWA Hollywood Heavyweight Championship with scrapped Iron Adam Pearce. Best of 7 series, a lot of people consider that to be some of his best. Indeed, Colt Cabana, very, very well traveled journeyman wrestler, you may say. Tag made down by Ricky Morton to Robert Gibson. Smart move. Get the fresh man in the ring. Yeah, that's one of the things they're going to have to do because of the age factor. They're going to need to keep somebody in there very quickly in and out. They're not going to have the same stamina they did in the 80s. Nice move right there by Robert Gibson, outthinking Anderson. And now Anderson all the way out to the floor. Robert Gibson goes right to the top rope. He comes down with a fist. Well, don't tell them they're old. I got to tell you right now, I haven't seen Robert Gibson move like that in a very long time. Matter of fact, I think the last time he did, Reagan was president. And I didn't like that son of a bitch either. Action on the floor right now. Robert Gibson head first driving Ken Anderson into the apron. Well, the Rock and Roll Express have not had a great win-loss record in the NWA, but none of that's going to matter. If they win this tournament, they're the tag team champions. Colt Cabana going down low. Big right hand, and Gibson gets floored. Boom, boom, into the corner. And now Robert Gibson is in trouble. Series of left jabs. Here we go with a flip, flop, and fly. Gibson is down again. Well, streets of the American Dream, dusty roads, and we know Boom Boom has always patterned himself after the American Dream. There's the big elbow, split him wide open. Save made by Ricky Morton, otherwise this one would have been over. Robert Gibson is spilling blood right now. Well, to borrow a line from another genius, his face is quickly becoming a crimson mask. Gibson managing to gain some advantage right here, but he needs to make the tag. I don't know why he's not making the tag already. He should be out of there, looking to get Ricky Morton in my opinion. I think that's just a smart move right now. Well, it would be, but nobody ever accused Robert Gibson of being smart. Least of all, not me. Gibson with a big forearm to the back of Colt Cabana. Now Boom Boom in trouble. Finds himself stunned, and Gibson turns the corner, brings Colt Cabana over towards his corner. Snapmare with a boot right to the back, right between the shoulder blades. And now Gibson taking a look at the damage. He oftentimes will mention the fact that when a man's busted open, he sees his own blood, it's going to make one of two things happen. Well, I can tell you from experience, Robert Gibson doesn't have any backup in him. And there is the tag made to Ricky Morton. Fresh man now in the ring. Well, when you think about it, just moments ago, Colt Cabana was about to win this match. And if not for the save of Ricky Morton, it would be over already. And now suddenly the Rock and Roll Express are in control. Big drop kick by Ricky Morton. Well, that's their bread and butter right there. That drop kick, if he hits you with it, it could easily spell the end of the match for you. Winding right down he goes, and again, Colt Cabana in trouble. Robert Gibson is on the apron. Could be the double team. Here's a tag made. Irish whip, here it comes. Rock and roll drop kick, and he caught him. Well, the double drop kick, that could be all it is. Where's Anderson? Ken Anderson staying on the apron for that one. 2 count only. Another drop kick. My goodness, how the momentum in this one has completely turned. Yeah, I'll say it, I really thought the Rock and Roll Express were already done, but here they are on the cusp of victory. Oh, he caught him coming in. Ricky Morton's shoulders are down. Referee's counting. Almost. And there's the tag made. Ken Anderson comes in, and Ricky Morton wastes no time at all grabbing a hold of him. Well, I'll tell you right now, out of all 4 men, if there's one man that I'm truly going to be frightened of, it'd be this one. Ken Anderson, perhaps the man who could do the most damage, in my opinion. He's got that devastating finisher, the mic check, and if he straps that on you, I don't see anybody getting up. Oh, Morton got caught again. He's down, shoulders are down, referee in position, 2 count only. My God, how close was that? Well, I'll tell you right now, the whole crowd here in Georgia, in Atlanta, at the Civic Center, everybody on their feet because they thought it was over. I thought it was over as well. Anderson, I believe he thought it was over. There's that Green Bay plunge. 2 count only. Gibson is in the ring one more time. Referee might have to do something about that. Into the turnbuckle goes Ricky Morton, and now from behind, Anderson went for the back body drop, didn't work. Yeah, Morton right now is fighting on desperation more than anything else. There are times in an event like this where your heart will carry you when your legs won't. This may very well be one of those times, because I can tell you right now, Ken Anderson is dominating the Rock and Roll Express. And another double team tag is made, and now Colt Cabana, the legal man. Double back body drop sends him way up into the rafters. And again, we saw it earlier with Robert Gibson. Now we see it with Ricky Morton. Flip, flop, and fly. Down goes Morton. Distracted by Anderson was Ricky Morton. Cabana taking advantage. Ricky Morton trying to make his way over to Robert Gibson, but he's as far away as he needs to be. And that's smart tag team wrestling on the part of Colt Cabana. Ricky Morton blocked whatever Colt Cabana was planning. The action continues here in this first round match. From the middle rope, down goes Anderson across the shoulder. Oh, here it is. Mic check. It's over. Well, it's as sudden as that, and that should be the end of the match. Ricky Morton somehow gets his shoulder up. How in the world does Ricky Morton have it in him to get that shoulder up? I have no idea. That has got to mess with the psyche of Ken Anderson. And now Ricky Morton has got the crowd on its feet. He is feeding off the energy from the thousands in attendance here tonight. Winds up with that big rock and roll punch. Well, Anderson's got a response for anything Ricky Morton's going to come up with, and that reverse suplex right there just about broke him in half, and now Anderson with a clothesline. Here he goes. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. Anderson with a super kick right to the face, and Ricky's in trouble. And Ricky Morton catches him with a big boot to the face. And now, what are we going to see here? There's the suplex. Irish whip sends him to the ropes. And now Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, perhaps, nope. Anderson was ready for it on the way in. He stopped him cold in his tracks. And now Ricky Morton back outside the apron. Action taking place on the floor right now. Anderson targeting the knee of Ricky Morton. Well, I'll say this much right now. If you're SCU, you're watching this match, and you got to love it. The longer it goes, the more wear and tear on your opponents, the easier you will likely have it. And Morton able to reach up out of desperation to make the tag to Robert Gibson. What a right hand by Gibson. Well, Robert Gibson finds himself in the wrong part of town, and Ricky Morton will be of no use to him whatsoever. The blood still flowing down the forehead of Robert Gibson. As that wound gets worse, wait a minute, what's he going to do here? From the middle rope, here comes the Green Bay plunge. Anderson covers, doesn't hook the leg. It might not matter. It doesn't. Yeah, well, you saw Ricky Morton climbing back up to the apron, but it was too little, too late. Wow, what a tremendous opening matchup here. First round action. Both of these teams gave everything they had. Now the question is, for the team of Anderson and Colt Cabana, do they have anything left in the tank moving forward?
Here are your winners, Colt Cabana and Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, well, I'll say this much right now. It's not like SCU had a cakewalk through their first match. I think by the time the next round comes around, these two fellas will be rested and ready to go. All I can tell you is that's going to be one hell of a match. See who goes to the finals. They take one step closer to becoming the NWA World Tag Team Champions. Okay, wrestling fans, it is time once again for the third of 4 opening round matches. As we take a look at the man known as Homicide. And I know you know a little bit about this guy. Yeah, I know a little bit about him. Matter of fact, I know more than I ever want to know about him.
The following contest is a tag team championship first round match. And from Brooklyn, New York, weighing in at 220 pounds, Homer Five.
Homicide making his way to the ring, about to be joined by his tag team partner, one of the most charismatic members of the NWA roster. Well, I'd actually agree with that. I don't mind Eddie Kingston. I've got no problem, no beef with him whatsoever. My question is taste in tag team partners. Well, the king is here.
And from New York, weighing in at 240 pounds, Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston, the master of the back fist to the future. Yeah, he hits you with that back fist. I'll tell you right now, it is back to the future. You're out. You're seeing things that never happened before. These two men represent the Outlaws here in the NWA. And they're going up against a couple of guys who they have had some problems with here in recent days.
And from North Carolina, weighing in at 294 pounds,
Dave Dawson, one half of the Dawsons, now accompanied by his brother. Well, Dave and Zane Dawson, they are a couple of big, powerful men.
Weighing in at 280 pounds, Z.
And for whatever reason, they just don't seem to get along with their two opponents here tonight. We thought we were going to have to wait a little while before these guys all got in the ring together, but as the luck of the draw turns out, they're going to do it right here with the opportunity to move forward towards the Tag Team Championship. Well, the Dawsons by far one of the most powerful teams, one of the biggest teams in the NWA. Look at this. Dave Dawson handling Homicide in a way that Homicide probably not used to being handled much. Well, no, he's not, but look at this. Homicide come right back and drops the big goof on his head. I may not like Homicide, but I can tell you something right now. I wouldn't want to get in the ring with him, and I wouldn't want nobody I'm managing to get in the ring with him either. Good points made by James E. Cornette. Perhaps one of the best signs of respect is when you respect an individual or a team enough to know that you don't want any part of it. Tag made down. We get our first look at Eddie Kingston in action here in the NWA. Here's the Irish whip to the ropes back out front. And he goes for the big kick and misses. From behind, pump handle, suplex, my goodness. Well, Dave Dawson using that size to his advantage, and why not? You got it, use it. Eddie Kingston, another one of those names that had contemplated retirement from professional wrestling, but when he heard about the NWA and what was happening, 3D. Well, stealing a page from the Dudleys right there, and why not? They ain't using it no more. But Dave Dawson, no selling it like a champ, right back on his feet. Well, think about it for a minute. If a move like that's not going to keep a man down, what the hell do you got to do to him? Zane Dawson now has him up in the air, going for the power bomb. Oh, my God. He came down in the ropes, his head and neck snapped across the bottom. Homicide could be in a lot of trouble right now. He could be, he is, look. Oh, he's right back up with a give up. And that surprise, Zane Dawson. Almost as much as that clothesline. Homicide with a big comeback right here. It looked like he was down and out, but don't tell him. Irish whip. And Homicide in the wrong corner now as the Dawsons make the tag, and they're going to double team from the middle rope. Dave Dawson down across the arm, and Homicide in trouble. And now desperately trying to make his way across the ring. And Homicide will not make it. Smart move right there by rolling out to the floor. Well, it buys him a little bit of time, and he's going to need that, but why'd he staying out there to go at it with Big Dave? I have no idea. The neck breaker delivered on the floor, and that's going to take something out of Dawson, you got to believe. And Dawson just keeps on coming back with an answer. You know, that's all right, because I can tell you right now, Homicide, he ain't anywhere near running out of questions. Homicide throws Big Dave Dawson back into the ring. Opportunity again was right there to make the tag to Eddie Kingston and chose not to. Oh, he's got the leg and he's going to try and draw submission. Could it happen? Well, it could happen, but not yet. It's too early in the match and Dave Dawson was too fresh. But if he gets that same opportunity a little longer down the line, it might be a different story. Here it comes, the Cop Killer. He delivers. Hooks the leg. And the save had to be made. And now the double team, look at this. Zane Dawson on the receiving end. Oh man, he may have broken his arm with that one. Dave Dawson in trouble. Zane Dawson holding his leg. He's in trouble. The Outlaws in control of this match. Big mistake right there. There's the tag made. Willie bought himself an opportunity right there, but look at Homicide coming right back with some more. The Pele kick to the head, and Zane is in trouble. Well, he's going for it one more time, but this time too close to the ropes. Homicide was sizing him up for what I think would have been a finisher had he had the opportunity. Zane Dawson realizing, though, that he needed to do something to turn the tide, and he did. Tremendous butterfly suplex. He held him up in the air for what seemed an eternity, I'm sure. Save made by Kingston. Eddie Kingston, out of desperation, having to make that tag, or make that save, I should say. Sit out powerbomb, and that might be all she wrote. Once again, the save is made. Referee just got taken out. Well, it's Katie barred the door now. You got two Dawsons going at it with Homicide. Kingston's out on the floor. He's not going to be able to make any save. Tremendous dropkick right there by Homicide. Right to the face and the chest. Dawson feeling it. You see him cringe. You see the pain etched on the face of Zane Dawson. Homicide buying his tag team partner an opportunity to get revived, to get back up to the corner. He'll hook the leg, but I don't think he's going to get him, and no, he gets a 1 count only. Well, to your point, Eddie Kingston has recovered from the injury. Running DDT, there's the tag made, and Kingston, the legal man in the ring. Boy, oh boy, both of these teams really unloading on one another. We talk about the fact that there's another match after this one that these teams will have to both go towards whoever wins. And how much will either team have to offer based on how much punishment they're taking here and right now? Well, as we saw in our last match, every team in the first round is getting their butt kicked. So it's not like anybody's going to have an easy go of it from the second round on. Brief advantage, but that goes away quickly as Dave Dawson is sent crashing to the canvas. Now, why in the world would he have celebrated with the fans if he's going to go for the cover? Just go for the cover right away. A little surprising to see Eddie do that. He's seasoned veteran, knows better. And that difference in time may have been the difference it took for Dave Dawson. Dawson's got him up, big slam. Near 400 pounds down across the chest of Kingston. And he does manage to kick out. Well, I'll tell you, that rear chin lock he's got on him right now, making Kingston carry all that weight. And that's a lot to carry, fans. Once again, we want to thank everyone for joining us here on the Nation Network for NWA Wrestling Action. There will be a very special ringside report following this event. Stay with us for some live chat. Oh my goodness. He just had the whole world come down on Eddie Kingston. Save made or it was over. King Eddie is not going to get up from that. Well, he is, but only with some help. And now into the corner, would have been all over. Looked like the tag was going to be made. Now Eddie Kingston with a big clothesline, and Dave Dawson goes down. Rakes the eyes. No love lost between these two teams. Well, if they didn't like each other before the match, you know they damn well hate each other by now. Kingston stomping away on the hand. This is starting to get gritty, folks. Well, it's starting to leave a wrestling match and starting to become a fight. And I don't mind a good fight. Dave Dawson with the snapmare takes him over, and Eddie Kingston definitely in the wrong part of town, but he did enough damage. Dave Dawson has to step outside the ring. Zayn is in. One of these two teams could be the tag team champions at the end of the night, but only one. Sit out, choke slam, and that might be all. He covers, hooks the leg. Kingston is in. All right, beg your pardon, Homicide is in to make the save for Kingston. You know, I'll tell you this one thing about tag team wrestling. The action gets so hot and heavy that it's all time hard to call things right. And to that point right now, Eddie Kingston going down low to the midsection. How could you miss a target like that? Zayn Dawson using that strength advantage, shoving Eddie down, and now charges into the corner. 400 pounds crushing Eddie into the corner. Well, some of these fans out here are starting to chant Eddie, Eddie, but it isn't going to matter because he's getting crushed. Oh, there it is, back fist to the future. He knocked him out. Hooks the leg, referee's in position. Oh, and if it weren't for the save made right there by Dave Dawson, this match was over. Zayn Dawson was out cold. And now Eddie referring back to the street tactics. He'll tell you right from the get-go, he's not here to wrestle you, he's here to fight. Well, it ain't like Eddie's never been in the backseat of a police car before. He's no choir boy. He's going to do whatever it's got to do in order to be successful. Zayn Dawson catches him right there with a fireman carry, unusual amateur-style maneuver. And sometimes that's what you have to rely on. Well, right now, I think it's a big mistake being made by Zayn Dawson, who's standing by when he should be putting him away. Here it comes. He's got the... Oh, he couldn't hold on. Looked like it was going to be a version of the Pearl River Plunge, perhaps. Big boot right to the face. He's done. Desperately trying to make his way across the ring for a tag. Eddie Kingston not going to let him do it. Banging his head off the sidewalk as far as he's concerned. Oh, the back fist to the future connects. That should be all. Homicide's going to have to intercept Dave. He hooks the leg. And he got his shoulder up. How in the hell did he do that? I don't know. Eddie Kingston doesn't know. Homicide doesn't know. But somehow Zayn managed to get a shoulder up. Yeah, well, right now he needs to make a tag, and he's got nobody to tag. His brother's out on the floor. Eddie Kingston now wrapping him up. He's going to try and draw a submission. He turns that figure four inside out. Referee's asking him if he's had enough. I don't think Zayn's going to be able to hang on much longer. Unbelievable. Somehow he manages to survive. The rear view does its job. It's like getting hit by a bus. Goes for the cover. Eddie Kingston tagging out at the last second, or kicking out, I should say, at the last second. Homicide had entered the ring but did not go to make the save. Yeah, I got to believe there were words exchanged, and he probably knew. For a moment there, I saw Zane Dawson grab his head. You start to wonder if some of these shots he's been taking are starting to have a lingering effect. Yeah, I don't see any way they can't. That back fist to the future is absolutely devastating maneuver. And he hangs him across the top rope. This is for the NWA Tag Team Championship. This is our first round match. Tag made now, and Dave Dawson comes back in. And I got to tell you, the Dawsons seem like they're a little surprised that they're still having to fight these guys. Well, I can't imagine they would have thought these two guys were going to lay down. If they didn't know they were in for a fight tonight, they were stupid. Now Dave Dawson had them all tied up in the ropes. Kingston is on Queer Street as he walks right into the big slam. Nice shoulder tackle right there by Eddie Kingston. Big clothesline as well. And Eddie right now, he's in a position where he's got to figure out something. They can't keep doing this for long. They got to find a way to put him out once and for all. Oh, he almost did it right there with a shoulder tackle. Wouldn't that beat all? You beat the ever-living crap out of one another and everybody kicks out, but then a shoulder tackle gets you. Oh, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. The blood flowing down the forehead of Dave, and it's over. What a win. What a win for the Outlaws. Fans, we have seen some of the best tag team wrestling in a long time in the opening round of this tournament. What's it going to be like as we move to the finals? I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of tag team wrestling in my day, but I've seen nothing that beats what I've seen here tonight.
Here are your winners, Homer 5 and Eddie Keystone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Outlaws will advance in the tournament. We have one more match for the opening round of the Crockett Cup. Stay with us. right, fans, welcome back. More Crockett Cup Wrestling here, AWA, on the Nation Network.
The following contest is a tag team championship first round match. And from New York, weighing in at 220 pounds, the Luchador.
Well, Luchasaurus, one of the members of the AEW that is here in this cross-promotion event. Part of the Jurassic Express, and tonight we're going to see him and his tag team partner, Jungle Boy. And these two guys have really managed to make a name for themselves in the world of tag team wrestling. Now we're going to see if they can continue that. One of the most unique individuals you will ever see in a wrestling ring right there, the Luchasaurus. You know, when you think about lucha wrestling, you normally think about smaller guys.
And from
He ain't small.
California, weighing in at 167 pounds, Justice Boy.
This Jungle Boy now, he gives up a little bit of size and strength in almost every match he's ever in, but so far he's managed to get a pretty impressive win-loss record. Well, you know what they say, opposites attract maybe, and that's what this is all about. You've got some size and strength in one side, and you've got the speed and agility in the other. And if used properly, they can complement one another very nicely, and that might be what we're looking at right here.
From England, weighing in at 241 pounds, Thomas Lassiter.
Well, one half of the wild card, and I'll tell you, these guys have been proving themselves week in and week out. And a lot of people think they are the favorites here in the Crockett Cup. Here comes his tag team partner, Royce Isaacs.
From Denver, Colorado, weighing in at 242 pounds, Roy S. Isaac.
1975 called they want their mustache back. You know, I might joke, but I'll tell you right now, these two men have proven themselves to be one of the top tag teams, not just in the NWA, but anywhere in the world. And here tonight, they're going to have an opportunity to prove it, going up against one of the best in the AEW. All right, bell sounds, action's underway. Collar and elbow tie up back into the corner. We're going to find out early on what kind of match to expect if we get a clean break out of these two, and we do. No, never mind. Yeah, Latimer was looking pretty much like he was going to give him a clean break, but then he dropped him in the corner. Follows it up with a big knee, and now both members of Jurassic Express, for the moment, we're on the floor, but now look at this. Oh! Luchasaurus just picked him up and slammed Latimer on the apron. That's gotta hurt. There is no give in the apron of a ring. Latimer now sends him into the apron, to the corner of the guardrail, by the way. And now firing off with a series of rights and left hands. Latimer has staggered the Luchasaurus. Irish whips him right into those steel steps, and Latimer in trouble. Referee's count continues to climb. The Luchasaurus right back outside the ring to break the count And this continues to break down on the floor. Yeah, any resemblance of a match has really started to fade away. It's becoming an all-out Pier 6 brawl. Now the Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Latimer finally going to have the opportunity, perhaps no. Reversal, and Luchasaurus with the Irish whip. Referee just got taken out, look out. Well, it's a dangerous time right now for all the men in the ring with no referee there to maintain order. Jungle Boy just thrown like a lawn dart. And Latimer going up against the smaller opposition tag made. And here comes Royce Isaacs. What a clothesline. Jungle Boy with a big jawbreaker. Bounces off of Isaac. Well, we mentioned earlier that this young man gives up size and strength in just about every match. He's definitely doing that right here, right now. And Royce Isaac's not exactly the biggest guy on the roster neither. Well, he's not, but he's definitely bigger than this one. Oh my goodness! He went all the way. Thought it was going to be a power bomb. Released him at the top of it and sent Jungle Boy crashing face first. And look at this. Can you believe it? A rocket launcher. Luchasaurus was just rocket launched by Jungle Boy. Well, we mentioned earlier that these two men complement each other, and they have used that to their advantage to pull out some impressive wins, and that's a good example right there of just how they're able to do it. Oh, Isaacs with a shoulder right into the midsection, and Luchasaurus on the floor. He landed hard. And fans, don't get confused. That padding really doesn't provide much. Elbows now to the midsection. Isaac's out on the floor right now with Luchasaurus. The back body drop. Winds up the arm. Big right hand. He rocked his world with that one. I'll tell you right now, Roy's in trouble. And there is the tag made. Jungle Boy comes in. Nice move right there with the back breaker into the Russian leg sweep. Back and forth action. Isaac sizing him up. He missed, and now the Jungle Boy takes advantage, and now the tide has turned. Well, Royce better be careful, otherwise this one may be over. He powerbombed him. Dragging him all the way over to his corner. Smart move, now hooks the leg. Well, a lot of time just went by, and enough time for him to get his shoulder up. Irish whip into the turnbuckle. Nice go behind, and the Luchasaurus with a dragon suplex. Isaacs plants him. Save was made, referee taken out. Wait, what just happened? What the hell just happened there? I think he got confused. You had a lot of bodies laying everywhere. I think he thought he had Jungle Boy. Latimer just took out his own partner, and both men are out. Tag made. Latimer is the legal man in the ring. I'm not even sure if Isaacs knows what happened to him. Well, we ain't sure yet. He will be when he sees the replay. Hard landing off the apron, bounces to the floor. Fans, this is our last match of the first round. These men have left it all on the table. Referee got a count of 7. Both men back in and now. Luchasaurus sizing up Latimer. Thomas Latimer may be in trouble. He was ready. Latimer now with a choke slam. Delivered. Oh, Latimer's got him up in the air. Here it goes. What's he going to do with him? Drops him across the top rope. That should be it. He hooks the leg back. Latimer's got him. Jungle Boy making a save or it would have been over. And now Jungle Boy's going to be on the receiving end of some himself. Face first planted. Tag made, and now Royce Isaacs in. I'm surprised Isaacs didn't try to intercept Jungle Boy. He had a big opportunity right there. This match would have been over and they would have been going to the next round. Well, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Bottom line is they didn't. Big clothesline right there by Isaacs. And a frequent tag being made. And that's one of the big advantages that I see right now. Yeah, no doubt about it. They've done a much better job of tagging in and out. And now look at this. Latimer going to go and try and steal one. Almost did. Luchasaurus is in trouble. Just got clotheslined in the corner. Would love to make the tag to Jungle Boy. He's just not getting a chance. Oh, look at this. So close. Down across the knee. Luchasaurus right now is in control. Payback to Lassiter. Well, in the corner he goes right here. Now look at this. He blocks the shots beautifully. Hits the ropes. Back out front. Big boot. Oh, my God. It's over. Well, it would be if he'd have gone for the cover, but he's out. He needed to make the tag, and he does. Can Jungle Boy finish it off? What a series. Another big clothesline. Hurricane Run, nicely done. Running Hurricane Run. He jumped up there and met his target. Jungle Boy thought he was going to have a double team opportunity. I thought he was going to as well. Instead, he falls at the hands of Thomas Lassiter. Lassiter has him up. Oh, implant DDT. That should be it. Well, smart move to pull him away from the corner. How much time does that buy Jungle Boy? Just enough. I do believe that if he hadn't had to drag him across the ring, this match may be over. The Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament on the line. The NWA Tag Team Championship. Currently vacant. That will not be the case at the end of the night. Well, Jungle Boy's over there taunting. I'm not sure what he's trying to get at. Trying to get in the head of Royce Isaacs, I believe, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Well, Jungle Boy may be the smallest man in the match, but he is really delivering here in this one. I think a lot of people would have expected him to be the weak link, and he has more than held up his end of the bargain. Right down across the back. Yeah, I mean, he's wrestling a very smart match right now. He's not trying to match power with power because he can't. But he had him down and used that opportunity to bring what weight he does have and the point of his knees right into the back, weaken his opponent up. And now look at this. He got him. Shoulders are down. Referee was tied up. He got him. It's an upset. I don't believe it. Fans, the number one seed in the tournament has just been eliminated. I still can't believe it.
Here are your winners, the Luchador and Justice Boy.
Unbelievable. Fans, when we come back, the National Heavyweight Champion will be in action. Stay with us.
following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Action Championship.
All right, fans. Title on the line tonight. All titles on the line tonight. Yeah, for the first time since the NWA has been brought back, this is the first time where all three titles will be defended or decided, however you want to look at it. This young man, Brian Pillman Jr., the promised prince of professional wrestling. Well, I had an opportunity, many opportunities to work with his father very closely. I've got a lot of respect for his old man. And I've got to say, I've seen young Brian here on a number of occasions, and he's always impressed me. Well, it's going to be a huge opportunity for him. Well, don't get much bigger than this. The man who recently won the National Heavyweight Championship, right there it is. The Cowboy himself, James Storm, and I tell you, young flying Brian Jr. here. He's going to get initiated into the NWA very quickly. On a night where we feature the tag team division, we will have an opportunity to see two of the best in singles competition as they defend their respective titles.
Introducing the challenger from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing in at 220 pounds, Brian Platinum Jr.
Brian Pillman Jr. trying to add to the legacy of the family name here tonight.
From Tennessee, weighing in at 230 pounds, he is the Action Champion, Cowboy James Storm.
And there he is, your national champion here in the NWA. Well, again, that's one of those titles that has an incredibly long lineage. The biggest and the best names in the history of wrestling have held that belt in the past. And if you don't think Pillman wants to add the legacy of the Pillman name to that title, you don't understand Brian Pillman Jr. All right, bell sounds action underway, and the champion with a side headlock taking him down. Nice move right there by Pillman to get out for the moment. Oh, he caught him. He did catch him, and he might be putting him away quick. I'll tell you, James Storm is a champion. He ain't getting paid by the hour. Flying neck breaker, and Pillman is in trouble. Well, the big Cowboy having his way with this young man. Pillman, a bit of a journeyman. He's been around. He's been to All Elite. He's been here at NWA. We've seen him countless promotions, Ring of Honor. And he just took the Cowboy from the apron all the way to the floor. Big move again. James Storm really punishing this challenger right now outside the ring. You don't think that James Storm ever had a grudge against Brian Pillman Sr. that he's taken out right now, do you? No, I don't think they'll cross paths. Maybe, who knows? He sure as hell wrestling the way right now. He's fighting him as if his dad owed him money. Nice counter right there. And the Promised Prince with the opportunity to turn things in his favor, but it doesn't last long. That's 2. Trifecta. And he tears him down with another big clothesline. And now Pillman fighting his way back. Well, Pillman better pull out some offense real quick or this one will be all over. James Storm has him up in the air. Crucifix, and he throws him across the ring. You know, we've seen him do that to a lot of guys a lot of times, and it never looks like it doesn't hurt. And there's the super kick. Will that be enough? Probably would have been, but he got him in the ropes. Nice duck out by Pillman, and now perhaps his opportunity to turn the tide in this one, to put some offense behind. He's biting him. Oh, look at that. Pillman's got a little bit of a meat streak in him. Who knew? Well, Pillman Jr., who we usually expect some high-flying antics out of, really getting down and dirty with the Cowboy. Working the arm. He's got a top wrist lock, and now the champion down on one knee. And James Storm fighting his way back up. Back body drop. James Storm with a collar and elbow. Instead comes up with a deep arm drag. And now he's got him in an abdominal stretch. Talk about old school. Pillman is in trouble. Well, you know what? It may be old school, but it still hurts like a son of a bitch. Pillman is in trouble. And he taps out. James Storm successfully defends the national championship here at the Crockett Cup. Well, I'll tell you what, we take a look at some of the replay from this match. And James Storm sent a loud message to everybody out there. I don't care who you are. You want my respect, you'll earn it. There it was. Pillman trying desperately to turn it into a hip toss, but every time he tried to, James Storm wrenching back on it, separating the ribs, and Pillman could handle no more.
Here is your winner and still Action Champion, Cowboy James Storm.
There is your national champion here in the NWA, the Cowboy James Storm. Fans, second round action of the Crockett Cup coming your way. Stay with us. All right, fans, we are ready now for the second round. These are the teams that have advanced to the semifinals.
And from Anaheim, California, weighing in at...
The question is, which one of these teams will move into the finals? We've got representatives from the AEW and the NWA.
And from Chicago, weighing in at 233 pounds, Colt Cobb Anna.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it'd be a little bit unfortunate if somebody outside of the NWA itself was to win this whole thing. We knew it was a possibility.
Weighing in at 243 pounds, Mr. Anderson.
All right, bell sounds, action's underway. Second round matchup. This is the semifinals. Christopher Daniels has got Boom Boom Colt Cabana down in the corner right now. Colt Cabana handpicked his tag team partner. Well, he handpicked him, he brought him in, convinced him to get back in the wrestling ring, and let him know, hey, big opportunity right out the gate. We could be the tag team champions of the world. And that's a lot of enticing when you're looking at something like the NWA Tag Team Championship titles. Cabana with a series of shots. When we look back to the opening round competition, you want to think of which of these teams may have gone through just a little bit more punishment. Oh, referee's down again. Boom Boom is ready to go. Here it comes. The big elbow, and he splits him wide open. Nobody there to make the save. This could be it. Shoulder comes up off the mat. Holy cow, just at the last second, I thought for sure it was all over. Let's give credit for Christopher Daniels. He's fighting it by himself right now. Another elbow. One of the hardest areas of the human body is that elbow, and when it strikes you, look at this. Christopher Daniels' desperation makes the tag, and now Frankie Kazarian is in. Cabana into the turnbuckle hard. He comes off and now goes for the cover. Ken Anderson comes in the ring. Wanted to make sure. Man, take a look at the amount of blood being lost right now. Like Christopher Daniels, he's a mess. It is streaming down his face. It has got to be impacting his vision. Referee may have to decide whether or not he can safely continue on in this match. Snapmare takes him over now, and Boom Boom Cabana going to work. Kazarian is in the wrong part of town, and now look at this. Anderson comes in, has him up in the air. Tilt-a-whirl side slam. There's a clothesline, and another one. Third time, super kick right to the face. Kazarian may be out. Well, Anderson's got him in trouble. He's going to try and put him away right here, and he might do it. Rolling through on the Green Bay plunge. Oh, I thought for sure he was going to go for the mic check. Kazarian now with a monkey flip takes him out to the middle of the ring. Christopher Daniels is in all kinds of trouble out there. I don't know if he's going to be any use to Kazarian going forward. And if they somehow find a way to make it to the finals, then what? Well, you know, we got doctors in the back that'll patch him up, but to your point, there it is! There it is! He caught him with the mic check. Will that be all? Christopher Daniels able to make the save, otherwise this one was done. I don't see this one going long. These teams have been through too much already here tonight, all the way over the top rope to the floor. We've mentioned earlier on that in the old days of the NWA, that would have been an automatic disqualification. Daniels just slamming Anderson on that apron. And now head first into the apron, and Ken Anderson's been busted open. Well, both these men are spilling some blood now, but I gotta say, Danielson definitely looks worse. And the count continues. Reaches up to 6, and now Christopher Daniels sends him into the ring. Down across the open wound. And beats the count at the count of 8. Tag is made. Anderson's in trouble. Cabana with a clothesline to the back of the neck, and that might be enough. Yeah, I'll tell you right now, Daniels' eyes rolled to the back of his head. He went down hard. And look at this, Boom Boom using the ropes for an advantage, and he almost got him. Well, Christopher Daniels looked a little bit surprised right there. He shouldn't be. Look at this. Almost put it to. Wow, that would have been huge. SCU right now is in trouble. Went for the belly to back suplex. Couldn't hold him, and now Cabana. Will that be enough? Oh, the big elbow. He just drops the elbow. And I'm surprised he's not going for the cover. Oh, he wants to do some more damage. Kazarian watching from outside. Right between the eyes, that's going to be all she wrote. Les Kazarian able to make the save. He is. And now a double team on Frankie Kazarian. Russian leg sweep may be enough to put him away at this point. He's taking so much damage. Down across the knee. Christopher Daniels in trouble. There's the tag made, and now Kazarian, the legal man, in the ring. Double elbow. And now Colt Cabana is the one in trouble. Well, I'll tell you right now, this has been one hell of a match back and forth. We've seen the damage done to Christopher Daniels. We've seen the damage done to Mr. Anderson. And now here comes a kill switch. And now Cabana's been busted open. Save made, oh my God. 3 out of 4 participants in this match have been busted open. This is absolutely unbelievable. Stunner. That's going to be it right there. They're going to advance. How in the world is he doing that? Colt Cabana somehow summoned something from deep inside and was able to kick out. Kazarian sends him crashing to the floor. Well, I thought Anderson was going to go and get a piece of Kazarian there, but he changed his mind. The impact of the body on the concrete floor. One of these teams is going to be going to the finals for the tag team tournament. What condition will they be in? Well, damn sure won't be top condition. We can tell that by looking at 3 of the 4 of them. This is the kind of fight I don't expect the referee to break up. I'm thinking the cops will be called. Ramming them into the apron. Wait a minute. They beat the count back in. I can't believe it. SCU is going to go to the finals of the Crockett Cup. Well, they didn't beat nobody, but they beat the count. What a brutal match this turned out to be. Fans, you got to believe that somewhere down the line, these two teams' paths are going to cross again.
Here are your winners, Christopher Daniels and Frankie Kazarian.
Well, I can tell you this much, if it does happen, I want to make sure I'm there. All right, fans, stay with us. We're going to find out who will be meeting SCU in the finals. Stay with us. All right, wrestling fans, we are back. Once again, it's the Civic Center here in Atlanta, Georgia, hosting the Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament to crown the new NWA Tag Team Champions. Well, we're getting ready to see these Outlaws one more time. Homicide, and here comes his tag team partner, Eddie Kingston. They are one match away from going to the finals. You've got to believe both of these teams want to get this match over with as quickly as possible because they see what they're going to be going up against with SCU. A couple of guys who have just been put through a meat grinder And if you can come out of this thing relatively unscathed, you'll have a huge advantage.
Weighing in at 220 pounds, the Luchador.
Well, there's that Luchasaurus again, and he and Jungle Boy pulled off the upset. I don't even know if you can call it an upset if they keep on doing it.
And from California, weighing in at 167 pounds, Justice Boy.
Saw a sign back there saying a new breed, and indeed, this is a new breed. Homicide going to work on the big man, and look at this. Goes for the clothesline, missed, and Homicide with a shot to the midsection. Pump handle slam, couldn't hold the weight. You know, Homicide, I can tell you right now, a lot of times he fights with his mind and not his mind so much as his brain, but his emotions, and he gets the best of them and he makes some silly moves. That was one of them. Luchasaurus has him up in the air, plants him head first, and both men are down. Looking to make the tag to Jungle Boy is Luchasaurus. I don't think he's in any condition to make the tag. Look at him. Into the corner, I'll tell you what. The opening round matches took a lot out of both of these teams, and it's starting to show. Here's a double team, however. Nicely done, Jungle Boy. Big boot by Kingston right to the face. Knee in the midsection. Springboard, look at this! Tremendous move right there by Jungle Boy. He's going to try to steal this one if he can. Kingston kicks out the back. Jungle Boy to the top. He's got him. Shoulders are down. 1, 2. Save is made. Well, now Luchasaurus has got Homicide, but he couldn't keep him. And Jungle Boy going all kinds of crazy here. Ties him up in the ropes, and look at this. Referee's going to have to break this one. Once again, this time he missed. Well, Eddie Kingston from the school of fool me once, shame on you. Crippling right hand just drops Jungle Boy. Back fist to the future. Will it be enough? Kingston knocked him out. And it's over. The Outlaws are going to the finals against SCU for the NWA Tag Team Championship. Well, I'll tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, this one didn't last long. And I said these matches, as they move along, won't be going as long. Both teams that are involved in any match are going to be tired. They're going to be hurt. They're not going to have what it takes to go 25 minutes. That back fist to the future by Eddie Kingston, it is devastating.
Here are your winners,
Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, the World Championship will be on the line. Stay with us. More of the Crockett Cup coming your way.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, fans, here we go. This is the championship, the #1 title in all the world, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Well, it's a title that's been around longest. It has had the biggest lineage going back to Lou Gotch. Names like Lou Thez, yes, Harley Race, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and the list does go indeed on and on. Tim Storm has had his name on that list, but he wants to put it back there again. School teacher by day, wrestler by night, Tim Storm, looking to prove that he still has what it takes to carry Sweet Charlotte home at the end of the day. And here comes the opposition, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Aldis. Well, one of the big things that you'll notice right away is who's in his corner. Camille. Well, she generally is in his corner. Well, generally, yeah, but she wasn't last time, and look what happened. Ends up losing a non-title match to Ricky Starks. So I wonder if that has anything to do with why she's suddenly right back at ringside again. Well, I'm sure it definitely adds an element of comfort in knowing he's got her there in his corner. Well, it's good to have somebody to watch your back, but it's also good for somebody to be there to distract your opponent when it needs to be done. Sounds like you may be talking from the voice of experience. Well, I'm not saying I've ever done that. I'm just saying it's good to have. Nick Aldis stepping between the ropes to defend that championship, the oldest and longest contested title in professional wrestling history. You know, if I had a nickel for everybody who told me over the last 15 years, hey, Jim, it ain't 1986 anymore. Well, you know what I say to them right now? Kiss my ass, because it's back and it's working. It is working indeed here in the NWA. That is what these two men will be competing for here tonight.
Introducing the challenger from Dallas, Texas, weighing in at 241 pounds, Tim Storm. Introducing the champion from Birmingham, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Aldis.
Well, he's also the national treasure, but she forgot to mention that, but I'll do it for her. Nick Aldis, the world champion, and he plans to be when it's all said and done. Tim Storm has been announced both as the champion and the challenger in his career. Right now, he's got to be asking himself, what do I have to do to regain the title of champion? Well, I'll tell you what you got to do. You got to beat the man across the ring from you, but it ain't going to be easy. Well, both men go to hook up right there, and look at this. Tim Storm caught him. Nick Aldis had to be quick on his feet right there. This match opens up. Things not quite going the way Mr. Aldis thought they would. Well, you know what? A lot of times when you're the champion, you got to sustain the early going on in the match. Get through the storm until you get to the calmer waters, and then you can do what you want to do. The challenger a lot of times is going to come out with a lot of energy, a lot of emotion. In many cases for them, this is one of the few opportunities they've had to reach the brass ring. Into the corner we go. And now Aldis turns it around one more time. Look at that chop. Back and forth they exchange. Down low by Aldis. And now look at this. Oh, I thought he's going to go all the way. He does now. Aldis went for that running shot and he missed, and he missed again. Tim Storm just sent it to those steel ring steps, and that's going to hurt. A lot of sharp corners on those. Once again, the challenger has been sent crashing into the steel steps. And now Nick Aldis back to the relative safe confines of the squared circle. Well, you don't see too many people getting busted open on a turnbuckle, at least if not if the pad's still up. Now Nick Aldis raking the eyes across the top rope. Snapmare takes him over. Aldis now digging deep into the eyes and raking the eyes of Tim Storm. Well, I'll tell you, this is not normal for what we see out of Nick Aldis, but I don't think we're going to see a normal Nick Aldis after that loss to Ricky Starks. I think that got in his head, and he's trying to prove a point here, maybe to himself, if nobody else. Just bounced the skull of the challenger off the apron. That could be it. He just barely got a shoulder up. Back and forth the action goes. Tim Storm is the one now trying to weather the storm. That front face lock, and he turns it into a Russian leg sweep. Nicely done. Clothesline all the way out to the floor. Now the champion is down. He's got him up. Sit out slam on the floor. Well, there's no giving that mat. I can tell you right now, that's going to hurt. And Tim Storm is in his 50s. That ain't going to go down easy. Nick Aldis feels he's got the challenger right where he wants him, and perhaps he does. Up again, he's gonna go for that power bomb. All right, everybody, sit tight. PS4 just shut down. Oops. If you're experiencing some technical difficulties, please stand by. Kind of sucks, man. We were at a pivotal point in the match. Ulmer, that Tim Storm is actually mine, and it is uploaded, so if you want to get him, go get him. Hashtag One Nation, all one word. The number one, the word nation. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Thanks, Elmer. Appreciate that. And this is PS4. I am definitely going to get a PS5, no doubt about it. It is repairing the extended storage device, which is kind of standard when it shuts down unexpectedly like that, which is not very often. Always a little nerve-wracking when they tell you it has to repair it, though, because it's like I got so much shit saved on there, and it's going to really suck if it's lost. All right, we should be up and running in just a moment here. Hopefully everything is saved. And I forgot to set the arena. Gosh dang it. Thank you for your patience and sticking with us, and we are going to restart the championship match.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship.
All right, fans, we are back, and when you do this thing live, things can happen. As we take a look at the challenger making his way down the aisle towards the ring, trying to once again become the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the former champion, the one and only Tim Storm. Well, I don't know if it's just me. I feel like we've already done this once before. Yeah, definitely a sense of deja vu going here, no doubt about it. Here comes the champion. He will be accompanied by Camille. Well, I can't help but wonder where Camille was when he was taking on Ricky Starks. I'm not sure where she was, but I wouldn't be surprised if that has something to do with why she's with him now. Sweet Charlotte, 10 pounds of gold. The NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Introducing the challenger from Dallas, Texas, weighing in at 241 pounds, Tim Storm.
You know, you hear a lot of people say it, and I think it gets worn out sometimes, but this does have that big fight feel to it.
The champion from Birmingham, England, weighing in at 240 pounds, he is the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis, the world champion. He hands over that title like he might not see it again, and guess what? He might not. Is it just me, or does that referee remind anybody of Mike Tyson? Tim Storm going right in with a scoop slam on the champion. Camille throws her hands up to say, what happened? Overhead, belly-to-belly suplex. Tim Storm says, come on out. Well, the champion right now is in a lot of trouble early on in this one. Tim Storm just driving that shoulder to the midsection, follows it up with another big suplex. Irish whip to the ropes, back out front, both men collide. And now the champion with the arm. Takes him down, goes down across the left shoulder. Aldis now has that leg stretched out down across the knee. Well, that's a smart move right there by the champion. He knows it. Tim Storm is not the youngest man out here in the NWA, and he's going to have to, look at this, Camille getting in the way, trying to distract him, I believe. Irish whip was reversed, and now Tim Storm. Oh, he went for the grab, nobody there. Nice move by Nick Aldis. Gut wrench, suplex, and now Camille much happier with the things she's seeing in the ring. Well, she should be, because right now, the champion is in control of this match. Oh, look at this small package. He got him rolled up. Referee's down. There's a count. He almost got him. Just like that, Tim Storm almost regained the NWA Championship. All this sidesteps what looked like it was going to be a clothesline and turns it to his advantage. Tim Storm using the ropes to get back up to his feet. Well, I don't want to knock a man based on his age, but Tim Storm, as we mentioned, is not a young man anymore. He was a champion in his 50s, which is saying a lot right there, but right now he's going up against a man who's in the peak of his career. One count out the back door. And Tim Storm continues. Oh, big clothesline. And Storm in trouble, and now Aldis saying, get up off the mat. Well, he says it, then he puts him right back down. And Tim Storm once again going to take a walk. Tried to swipe at Nick Aldis, but he paid the price for it. That NWA Championship is slipping through the fingers of Tim Storm unless he can find a way to turn the tide in this one. Well, every time he tries to, it looks like Nick Aldis has his number. Raking the eyes of Tim Storm across the top rope. There's the clothesline. And now it is Tim Storm in control of the match, at least for the moment. And now the champion has him up in the air. Pile driver. Well, that might be it right there. I don't know how he's going to survive that one. From the top rope he goes. Aldis misses the target. Tim Storm goes for the cover. And the champion out the back door. Aldis thinks he's got him. Well, he better think again because he doesn't. Oh, there it is. Perfect Storm. New champion. He hooks the leg. 1, 2. And Nick Aldis gets his shoulder up. Tim Storm just looking down at him, trying to figure out how he kicked out of that. We almost crowned a new world champion right here tonight. Shoulder tackle and the champion gets plowed over. Tim Storm from the apron. Well, he just delivered that double axe handle right across the head of the champion. These two men are fighting for the most coveted championship in all of professional wrestling. Went for the rear waistlock, can't say the words right now. And Nick Aldis turns it around and lands an atomic knee drop. The champion standing over the challenger, and I'm not sure why he's not following the offense up. Giving him a chance back to his feet. Oh, and look at this. He pays the price. Nick Aldis. Over the top rope he goes now. Tim Storm going to bring him back in the hard way. The national treasure in trouble. He catches a perfect storm again, and Camille cannot believe it. And again his shoulder comes up off the floor. Holy cow, I can't believe it. 2 times I thought we had a new world champion. The snapmare takes him over. Now Tim Storm wrenching the head and the neck. How much do you think Tim Storm has gone back and reviewed the videotape of the match with Ricky Starks? Well, I'm not sure how much he would have watched that, because that's not the style of fighting he does. Big bulldog by the champion, and just like that, turns out the lights. Well, be careful how you say that. Last time it actually happened. All this with a series of clotheslines. Back heel kick to the face, and the champion with the lead, and the challenger fading fast. Aldis has him up again. Powerbomb. Aldis thinks he's got enough to win. Shoulder comes up off the mat one more time. And Aldis says he wants a faster count. Well, you know what? Everybody who don't get a pinfall wants a faster count. I think the referee's done a pretty good job of being consistent in this one. And he throws him all the way out to the floor. All this going out after him. Tim Storm in trouble. Head first into the apron. Well, we've already seen tonight the kind of damage that can do. We've seen guys get busted open on that apron. Unforgiving is a good word. Big right hands rocking the champion, and now he fights back with some of his own. The sit out slam, he hooks the leg. He kicked out. He kicked out. He's going to try for it again. Nick Aldis can't hold him down. He's going to go again. This crowd coming unglued here in the Civic Center. Aldis waiting on him to get back to his feet. Nobody home. Big boot finds the mark. And now Tim Storm got caught. He was trying to sweep one of the legs. It looked like the champion, and then he turned it around. And now working the arm and the shoulder. Nicely done by Aldis. Nick Aldis attacking the knee. Jawbreaker clothesline. And Tim Storm out on the floor. Well, we see Camille outside the ring now. She really hasn't gotten involved in this one. I don't think that Nick Aldis needs her to be involved, but I do think he needs her to be present. Both of these men slugging it out here ringside. Look at this, Nick Aldis bouncing him. And then a knee strike to the head. Well, the champion getting his way back up to the apron. Hooks the leg, feet up on the rope. He got him. Well, I'll tell you right now, Nick Aldis had to pull it all out all the stops in this one. He thought he was going to have an easy time with an old man. Perhaps that's not the way it turned out. Oh, fans, I'll tell you right now, we have seen some great wrestling here tonight. Both of these men look like they had the match won on a number of occasions.
Here is your winner, and still National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Nick Aldis.
Well, those are the words he wanted to hear at the beginning of the match when the match was over, and that is still the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me.
All right, fans, it is time. This is the finals of the Crockett Cup. One of these two teams will end up being the NWA Tag Team Champions when it's all said and done. Well, we got one team representing the AEW, one representing the NWA. And I'll tell you right now, it won't be good.
Weighing in at 215 pounds, Frankie Kazarian.
It won't be good if it goes home with the AEW. Well, one thing's for sure, the last time we saw the SCU, there was some blood being left behind. Doctors have done their best to patch everybody up. But all four of these men have been through an absolute brutal beat-down night to get to where they are here tonight. Which of these teams will reach the gold? And there it is, the NWA Tag Team titles. That is what we're fighting for here tonight, no doubt about it. A lot of history, a lot of prestige in those tag team belts right there held up by the referee. Each of these teams has had a long road to get to where they are right now. Christopher Daniels already holding his head as the bell rings to start the match. Not a good sign for SCU. He hits the ropes, but I'll tell you right now, Christopher Daniels does so sluggishly. Take a look at his tag team partner in the corner over there, fading away, and this match just beginning. But in the meantime, the Outlaws, they look pretty good. Homicide with that German suplex, just folded him in half. Christopher Daniels definitely doesn't know where he is. This one may be over very quickly. Tag made, nicely done. Now Kazarian, the fresh man in, and fresh being all subjective in this one. Nice move, Kazarian rolls through, cradle. He's got the shoulders down, referee has to get in position. Save made. We almost had new tag team champions crowned right here. Well, I gotta tell you, that was closer than it needed to be. And now Kazarian able to get a shoulder up. He baits him in. Nice move by Kazarian, winding up the arm. Tag made, and now Christopher Daniel. I'm not sure he's got enough left in him. Homicide was trying to make the tag, and Daniel said, I don't think so. Well, Homicide will bitch slap the taste right out of his mouth if he gives him half an opportunity. And right now, I'd say he's had about half an opportunity. Catches the leg, heel sweep. And now, look at this, Christopher Daniel. Is it be at the Angel's Wings? Here it is. He plants him with it. New tag team champions. Save is made. And all four men are down. Oh my God, to the head. Christopher Daniels may be unconscious. Daniels is not moving. But neither is Homicide for that matter. Homicide crawling over. He goes for the cover, he hooks the leg. 2 count, he kicks out. Variation of a Samoan drop, and now look at this, tag is made. And Daniels needs to make the tag himself, but look at this, Kazarian wasn't ready. Head was down, didn't even see the tag being asked for. Frankie Kazarian is on Queer Street himself right now, but nowhere near as bad as Christopher Daniels. Delivers that top rope stunner, now he makes the tag finally. Kazarian gonna go all the way up. Oh, he went for broken, he got it. Well, what's on the line are the tag team championships of the NWA, the oldest tag team titles in the history of wrestling, and both of these teams want that prestigious title on their resumes. Not only do they want it, the question now becomes, what will they do to get it? Head first into the steel post. Well, I can tell you something from my many years ringside. When flesh meets steel, one of them's going to have to give, and steel will win every time. Tag made now. Here comes Homicide back into the match. He has the arm of Christopher Daniel, and he's trying to separate the shoulder. Frankie Kazarian, I beg your pardon. Well, Kazarian right now is in as much trouble as anybody's ever been in tonight here in the tournament. Homicide has targeted that arm. Kazarian setting up for the kill switch. Will that be enough? He hooks the leg. Referee in position. And a kick out just barely. Well, Homicide on his own right now. His partner's outside the ring, nowhere to be found. Stunner. And Kazarian's got him. Somehow he kicks out again. Well, Kazarian just staring out at him, trying to figure out what the hell I got to do to keep this guy down. Code breaker. And again he kicks out. The Outlaws not going down without a fight here tonight. Christopher Daniels catches him up with a scoop slam, plants him in the middle of the ring. What's he going to do now? Well, let's think about Christopher Daniels. He's got so many moves in his repertoire. He can do damn near anything he wants. Big elbow finding the mark, and that might be it for Homicide. Do we have new tag team champions? Not yet. Not yet. Irish whip reverse now. Look at this. Back out front he goes. Drops down. Catches him. Homicide with a series of elbows. Christopher Daniels. Oh, right to the head. I'm surprised that didn't reopen the wound. And Daniels comes out the back door. Well, I'll tell you right now, both of these teams have hit one another with everything you could possibly imagine doing. They have absorbed enormous, ungodly amounts of punishment, and there's the hot tag made. Oh, this could be it. He drives him. Hooks the leg. New tag team champions in the NWA. Well, I'll tell you right now, that was tag team wrestling at its finest here tonight. I'm damn proud to say that I was here to call the action. Fans, this is why NWA Power has risen to the top of the ratings. We take a look back at the closing moments right there. We thought for sure there was going to be new tag team champions crowned in the name of the SCU.
Here are your winners and the new National Wrestling Alliance World Tag Team Homer, Spy, and Eddie King Stone.
Homicide and Kingston. They are the NWA Tag Team Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to stick around for a very special ringside report. We'll be with you in just a moment. Stay with us. All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Don't know what the hell happened with that. Literally, the PS4 just shut down. No warning, no nothing, just bam, like somebody pulled the plug. It's in a pretty well-ventilated area, so I'm not sure what that was all about. It's a little scary when it happens like that. Also run the risk of losing your backup data, which is even scarier, but fortunately, happy ending. All right, hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I had fun with that one. Loving this NWA stuff, just so much fun. And I'm enjoying the AEW stuff as well. Somebody asked earlier about when did I switch over. I didn't switch over. I've added. There was plans of doing Monday Night War stuff, and that was going to be on 2K20. But unless you've been living under a rock for the last 24 hours, 2K20 doesn't exist. It's not a real game. It's just like they send you a disc of stuff in progress that eventually might be a game. And I'm not convinced it ever will be a game. If I was playing 2K20, Homer, I would have totally blamed it on the company. But I wasn't at that time. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. Sean, your son's not enjoying the game? The hell you say? All right. I watched a lot of videos when I first got up earlier this evening, and my God, it's worse than I even thought. If you haven't seen them, man, New Legacy Inc., go check them out. I love those guys. They always make me laugh. Every year, they try to break the game. It's just usually not this freaking easy. And it got so easy, they had to find new ways to do it because there was no challenge. Try and add like a headpiece to somebody like Becky Lynch and see what happens. Her face melts off. It's like that last scene in the first Raiders of the Lost Ark where they open the Ark of the Covenant and all of a sudden the guy's face melts. It's the same shit. It's like her teeth are right there, like dentures floating around. Her eyeballs are still there. The rest of her face goes away. Her hair comes out on top of the helmet piece or whatever. It's a friggin' shit show. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Sean. I hope he still has 2K19 because at least that is entertaining. Matthew, how you doing, buddy? How you doing? So, the original plan was tonight that I was going to muddle and struggle my way through at least trying to do some semblance of Halloween Havoc on 2K20. I would do it on 19, but I already deleted all of my WCW talent to make room for the NWA stuff because I thought I was going to be working off of the 2K20. Now, I have not checked or nor have I heard, but is anybody aware, have they fixed at least the issue with the logo uploader? Because if I can put a couple of face scans together, I might be able to pull something out my ass. You missed the last match. Oh, man. It was a good one. You can watch it later on demand. I don't want to spoil for you, buddy, but it was a good one. Lots of drama. Yeah, I hear a lot of people are sticking with 19. And honestly, if it's going to be this bad, and if this many people are going to stay with 19, then they need to get the friggin' uploader back for 19. Because right now we can't bring any new face scans in. Right now we can't bring any more logo imports in. And bullshit, man. I did see Marco stunt. Now I know exactly why Jim Cornette lost his fucking mind. That small child has no business in a wrestling ring. I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what? I totally agree with what Jim Cornette said. And that doesn't always happen. But somebody going to get hurt. Somebody going to get hurt. He ain't strong enough to protect somebody else who might take a bump. And he ain't built enough to take the kind of impact that wrestling brings along with it. It wasn't that he was bad. I mean, I didn't think he was terrible. I thought he did okay in what he did. He's just so freaking small. Way too small. I mean, let's put it this way. You know how Jungle Boy comes out on Luchasaurus's back? Well, he came out on Jungle Boy's back, and it looked the same scale-wise. So think of how small that is. I don't know. I'm guessing the dude comes in at maybe 5'5", 5'6" at best. Weighs maybe $160. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing about it that makes any sense. And, you know, for anyone out there that says, well, Rey Mysterio was a small guy too, and blah, blah, blah. Rey Mysterio was a generational talent. He was a superstar in his own right based on what he could do, and he was unique, and he came along at the right time. He had the history behind him, not only of AAA and the whole Mexico thing, but also the fact that his family had deep roots in wrestling for many years. So all that combined made him something to work with, and then he just got over with the fans, and size didn't matter in that case. I'm not saying this kid's not going to get over with the fans. He probably will, just like Mikey Whipwreck did. Mikey had a little more size to him, and Mikey today would probably kick this kid's ass. 5'2". Well, look at that. I was giving him 3 inches, and that's what his girlfriend said. Yeah, I'm sorry. 5'2", you know, get you a match with Hornswoggle somewhere, but leave the big boys alone because it just doesn't work, man. It's like, I like playing basketball. I like playing hockey, but I'm not going to play in the NHL. That's just the way it is. And I'm a wrestling fan, but I'm just not going to be a wrestler. That's just the way it is. Some people are built for that. Some people aren't. And he is not. He going to get hurt. He going to get hurt bad. I don't wish it on him, but I don't see any way out of it. So I got through the AEW from last week. Now I've probably got another one on my DVR from tonight. I mean, I'm not fast-forwarding through the whole program like I do with WWE, which is why I stopped recording it. Yeah, he should wrestle midgets. He is a midget. 5'2", I think you're qualified, right? Isn't that the legal height cutoff point? I think you have to be 5'3" not to be legally considered a midget. Somebody Google that for me. Yeah. It's wrestling, it's midgets, man. I don't want to hear any political correctness bullshit. Not around these parts, man. You're a midget, you're a midget. I can accept it. Why can't you? I did watch NWA Power. I love NWA Power. Got to look at some of the ladies. I thought they did well. just really enjoying Eddie Kingston, man. Eddie Kingston this is the most I've really been able to see him and follow him. I've seen different segments of him over many years. I remember like 10 years ago seeing him for the first time on the internet. I forget what promotion he was in. Cut a great promo and thought so much of it that for those of you who've been longtime subscribers, you'll remember back when I did an XCW versus ECW thing where Mick Foley kind of took over. I forget how it worked. If he kept ECW and then somebody else started up the XCW to go head-to-head with Extreme Wrestling. Anyway, I brought Eddie Kingston in for that just because of this one interview I saw him do, and I thought he was amazing on the mic. And he had a cool look to him as well. Yeah, AEW, I don't see them lasting. I mean, they'll be around a couple of years, but, you know, they're not a decade old. They're not going to be celebrating their 10-year anniversary. Dwight, look at you. 4'10" is considered a midget. All right, in that case, put him in there with the super heavyweights. What the hell do I care? It was probably Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Yeah, Theo, that's probably it. What I remember, I don't know who he was getting ready to, you know, throw dukes with or whatever, but he's doing a promo, and I'll never forget this one as long as I live because I thought it was just so simple and perfect, though. And it was something along the lines of, I shouldn't throw it away here. I could use it. Well, what the hell? We all friends. But it's like, yeah, he said it's going to be a cold day in hell when I beat him. And then he just looked at the cameras. Bundle up. It's definitely got WWE's attention. There's no two ways about that. And for that alone, it's good. And, you know, their ratings are still kicking ass. Good for them. Because there needs to be competition in the market. Absolutely has to be competition. I think NWA is going to smack both of them around in the years to come if they don't wake up to that real quick as well. Everything NWA is doing right now, I can't find an error within them. They've done something that separates them from everybody else, and it's simple. And much like the ECW, if you've ever seen Paul Heyman talk about how he went head-to-head with the big boys, I have to showcase what I do better than they do and hide my weaknesses. You know, they couldn't afford pyro just like NWA isn't going to do pyro. Hell, they're not even doing entrance music. And it's not that they couldn't, but then you got to go and get licensing and all this other crap, and why bother? And you could do it in-house, but that costs money. Why bother? And they didn't do it back in the old days, and that's what they're really focusing on. They're rebranding old school wrestling with today's talent, and it's brilliant, and it works. And technically, it's what I've been trying to do on this channel for 15 fucking years. So, I think they do it better than I did. And no scripts. Hell yes. I agree. It's good to see Trevor back in action as well, and it's a perfect fit for the product. The Murdoch name belongs in the NWA. Yeah, they had some wacky shit going down. I was never a CZW fan. I just thought they crossed the line way too much. ECW had some element of I don't know. It just, I don't want to say control because God knows they didn't act like they were ever in control. But, yeah. I just thought CZW was very dirty. It's like, what wouldn't they do? ECW might light tables on fires, but CCW would light somebody's balls on fire. You know what I'm saying? At some point in time, we've gone as high and as far as we can raise the bar, and then you got to kind of pull back before somebody gets killed. Otherwise, you get that New Jack shit. No, I think Ian Rotten is shit, and everything he's ever done on his own has been shit. His wrestling organizations have been shit. It's awful wrestling. I wouldn't give a bucket of piss for anything he's ever done. And I'm sure the apple didn't fall far from the tree with his son. Didn't even know his son was in the business. Didn't know he had a son. Don't give a fuck about his son. Ian Rotten is just shit. Dwight, I try to do it as often as I can. When I'm doing the streams, though, I want it to be a program style. And program style, you know, they call matches and you're watching TV and they don't get to hear you. So while I do hear you, and I'll try to type in between matches as best I can, some text back and forth, it's a little tougher for me to acknowledge during a live stream. So I like to do some of these other kinds, and that's why I look forward to this week every year, because I'm setting everything up in the new game, and while I'm setting it up, I just kind of pull back the curtain, let you guys see how I do everything, and we talk shit like we're doing now. However, I can't set anything up this year because the game's broken. I kind of liked XPW a little bit. I wouldn't say I ever loved it. I've got a box set of their wrestling shit. I know that. I don't know where it's at the moment, but I got it. Yeah, it's been so long for me. XPW. And what's the other one? What was that one that Jimmy Hart and Hulk Hogan did for about a hot minute? Just enough to put out a friggin' DVD set. WSX, was that it? I do not have a Facebook page. I've got the YouTube channel. I do have a Twitter account, which is at Invasion Nation, and the letter N at the end of Invasion is also the same N that you use to start the word nation, so they kind of share that N at the end in the middle. I just don't really have the time to also maintain a Facebook page. XWF, yeah, there you go, there you go. I got a box set. I got the DVD set that they put out on that one for the XWF. Got it for a song, too, like $9. Yeah, I never saw Dusty's. I heard about it. I never had a chance to see it. I thought the XWF would have had a chance to do something, but then they really just... All right, so what the NWA is doing today is taking the feel of yesterday, but putting today's stars into it. So it's a kind of a time warp thing. And what XWF did was they just tried to regurgitate the older days of the 80s and early 90s with guys from the 80s and 90s who are now old. Pro Wrestling Florida I did see a little bit of, having been in the Sunshine State, and Dusty always put together good stuff. I mean, that's all there is to it. When Dusty was in charge of the book, it was definitely going to be decent, or better than decent. Well, if it borrowed from WCW, then it could only be bad ideas, because I can't remember anything past the original NWO. Once you get past the original NWO and they started getting, you know, red and green and purple NWO, everything was bad at that point. It just kept getting bad. And if you guys will stay by in just a moment, I got to step away for 2 seconds to go turn something off, and I'll be right back. And we're back. Prime time, 7-Eleven, man. That's got to be a rough gig. Yeah, Marco looks like a child, and he just... Yeah, I just don't see it happening. I don't want to see him get hurt or nothing, but I don't see how he's going to make it and survive. I don't think the DVR was a thing for the Monday Night Wars at all. I don't recall DVR. I mean, I recorded everything on VHS, so I'm pretty sure if I had a DVR, I would have used that. It was pretty close to the time where DVRs came along. As I recall, that I think I recorded the entire show on VHS, and then I had a second VHS, and I'm sure I'm the only one, right? And I would play it back, and then I would just edit out the commercials and keep the matches I wanted and things like that. Superstars, it all depended on where you were as to what channel. We were on Rainbow 64 in Orlando, and it wasn't even Channel 64. That's a weird thing. And back in New York, it was probably WOR. So the next evolution for the NWA has got to be to get to television. And, you know, part of it's going to have to do with how these pay-per-views come and go. What are they getting on this pay-per-view, by the way? Does anybody get the price on it? I know it's on Fight. Didn't see how much they're getting for it. Well, Matthew, now you have the opportunity to catch up and see all of the great action for just $9.99 a month on the network. Or you can stick around here. I was going to say we're going to try and do it, but I don't know if they're ever going to fix 2K20. YouTube is better because it has the opportunity to be watched much quicker, and you can watch it incrementally much faster. From that aspect, I agree, but I think it would be great to see them on TBS at 6:05 on Saturdays. Thank you, Matthew. I always remind everybody, I do have a lot of advantages on my network that all other networks don't have. Number one is I can sign anybody I want for free. And they don't even have to be breathing anymore. So it makes it a little easier to put on an entertaining product when you have all that advantage. But I still appreciate it. I always feel like the ring entrance is a huge part of the match. I think it just sets the stage. It gives the wrestler or wrestlers their theme or their aura. Even if you don't know, like if you bring somebody to a first time wrestling match, they'll have an idea right off the bat. This is a good guy, this is a bad guy, badass or not so much, or just from the entrance alone. It really just feeds all that. It's part of the personality, and I think it's important to have that. And that's one of the reasons why I never monetized my stuff in 15 years, because to do that, I have to cut all the entrance music out, and there is nothing worse than watching the entrances with no music. Then I thought, well, maybe I could go out and get a bunch of that copyright-free music and just get stuff that kind of sounds similar to, and I'm like, yeah, no, because at that point in time, you're kind of ruining it. I want it to be as authentic as possible, and to do that, I've got to, just say, screw the money. And honestly, I don't know how much money there would be in it, but not enough to make it worth it to me. Yeah, I was grabbing stuff off of YouTube too. Once they had these converters where you could just put in the link and bam, all of a sudden it was a MP4 file. And I just throw that on a thumb drive and good to go. That's how I watched Ring of Honor for about a year. Back at the time where Kevin Owens had just taken the championship over there. Never could stand him. I tolerate him a little bit now, but I still don't think much of him as a wrestler. Doesn't do anything for me, but hey, got over with some fans, so what the hell. Yeah, Memphis, they had, what's his name there? Not Boy George. I'm starting to get tired again. Let's see, what's his name? The dude with Miss Linda, the valet Miss Linda. With the ponytails. Adrian Street. Exotic Adrian Street. He had that video. I think that was the first wrestling video ever. He was ahead of his time with that. All right, here's what I think I'm going to do here for a little bit. I'm going to shut this one down, but don't worry. I'm going to come right back with 2K20 and mess around a little bit with that. And we'll see if I can pull off Halloween Havoc tonight somehow. I want to try to keep to my word. I announced a date. I want to be able to do it. Yeah, I saw the special on Adrian Street. I thought it was really well done. Learned a couple of things I didn't know about him. Yeah, a lot of the old channels got banned. I had 2 of mine got banned. Just doing this kind of video content, by the way. One of them, I take it back. One of them did this video content, but it also had some actual footage from the archives of Memphis that I had purchased. Not the rights to, but I purchased video. Yeah, some of the WWE specials, from what I've heard, I mean, I kind of gave up on the WWE Network when they gave all that money to Saudi Arabia and then continued going to Saudi Arabia after they were killing people. Which, of course, they didn't do because they said they didn't do it, so we have to believe that. But, yeah, that was just a point for me where I had to say, bye! Yeah, I was actually just watching about 3 or 4 minute shoot interview with Brian Pillman Jr. talking about his mom, which I guess, I don't know her from a hole in the wall other than the time she was on TV. But apparently they were pretty much on the way on the outs, he and her, that being Brian Sr. And that whole thing in the house with Austin breaking in, having the gun and all that stuff. At that point in time, she already had another dude. And he felt that, her going on the air the day after Dad died, especially now in retrospect as he looks back at it, she was actually relieved. And he says, I hate to say it, but that just allowed her to go on with her life with this new guy without having to deal with all the headaches. And then she got the merch money. And I don't know, it just seemed kind of unfortunate to hear him tell that story. And you think about that's coming from a child at the time. So, yeah, he's growing up today, but those are his childhood memories. Yeah, so Mom apparently took at least a lot of the money and, bought the new husband a truck with it and who knows what else. I mean, I'm a firm believer in karma, so if you're really doing that kind of shit, then don't stand next to me in a lightning storm is all I'm going to say. He did say that, I put myself through college. I took out 2 loans to go to college, and I have a degree to show for it. And you know what? More power to you, dude. I haven't seen a lot of his work. I saw the thing he did on AEW. I think it was one of the pay-per-views he was showing up at. And maybe a match or 2 online. I mean, seems cool to me. Seems like a cool dude. Sucks that he had to go through life the way he did and, losing your dad, especially at that early age, for a young kid like that's rough. So he's landed on his feet, though. He's doing well for himself. Yeah, Theo, I like I said, I'm a fan. I enjoy watching him when I get a chance to. It's just not that often that I get a chance to, but I'll watch a match. I mean, I think he does a good job. I'd like to see him win more. I don't think I've seen him win a match yet. He's always been on that close call match. I think he's got a ton of talent, a lot of upside, and hopefully he gets someplace with a spotlight that can shine on him and give him the chance to really rise up the ranks. I can tell you one thing, he will be featured here on the network because I got plans. I got a guy. Well, that's it. That's the end of the music. When it's the end of the music, that's the end. All right, as I said, we are going to be closing this one down, then I'll be coming back with some 2K20. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to mess around there a little bit. What a dumpster fire. And we'll just play it by ear from there, all right? Hopefully you guys come back, join me, keep me company, because I'm going to need it. All right, have a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed the Crockett Cup. I had a blast with that one. Good matches tonight. And I'll see you in a little while with some 2K20.